Everyone still looks uncomfortable.
Perhaps they'll all remember that old saying, power corrupts.
Hello, and welcome to Second Officer Slog, Episode 19. I am M. With me is Jackson.
Hello!
We're on a hiatus, kind of. Let's talk about this real fast.
Okay.
So, my father died the other day, a couple days ago. I don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
And so, most of the Abnormal Mapping Network is on pause for a week or two. Because I've mostly been in a fugue state or cleaning as everything gets settled and doing paperwork and nonsense, I was really looking forward to Star Trek. Star Trek happened, came back, and so we're going to talk about Star Trek. Our book club will be postponed a little bit. Both me and Jackson have read the book. We just need time to do it, and things are really crazy for me right now, but it'll get done. But the Discovery episodes will not stop because I need Discovery in my life to feel good about anything, so...
Yes, there's a
thank you for any condolences. Yeah, there's a letter up that's free on patreon.com/abnormalmapping. I'm running a GoFundMe. If you happen to have a few dollars, you can kick my way. It turns out dying is very expensive. Don't do it.
Yeah, no. Not to get political, but it seems fucked up.
It sucks. It sucks the most. So that's it. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
But yes.
Discovery is back.
Yes.
You finished Enterprise.
I finished Enterprise because... So what happened was the season of Discovery first part, Chapter 1, as it is known, ended, and I was like midway through Enterprise Season 3 at that point.
I thought you were still in Season 2.
No, I think I finished Season 3 before the end of the season. Because, like,
You Season 2, you were still in Season 3 at least.
I was still in Season 3, sorry, yes. I had definitely seen The Expanse and begun the Xindi stuff because my recent Enterprise burnout point was, like, early to mid-Season 3 when every episode is kind of dull, everyone's character is off because they haven't figured out how to, like...
everything's 9/11 all the time?
Yeah, everything's 9/11 all the time. They haven't quite figured out what that means for Archie yet, other than he's an asshole. And all the episodes end with, like, we found a thing to magically reduce our, like, Xindi meter at Mass Effect 3. And it was bad. It was all fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, some of the episodes were enjoyable, but I was getting burnt out. And then I came back, and literally the episode I had stopped on was the one where everything picked up. But no, the reason I did it because I was thinking they're probably in the mirror universe. I don't think that there is no way on Earth that the Discovery next episode is going to have a crossover with the Enterprise mirror universe canon. There's no possible way they would ever do that. That's too ridiculous. There's no way. But I'll watch them just in case. I will finish the season. I'll be caught up.
Also,
with that knowledge.
like, I feel like the deeper you get into Star Trek, the easier it is to, like, catch Enterprise spoilers. And you're at that point now where I'm amazed there's stuff that didn't get spoiled for you.
There were things that I knew about, but I had forgot. Like,
Don't talk about them. Don't talk about them.
People haven't watched Enterprise. Okay, There's stuff in Season 4.
Season 4 of Enterprise, it requires you to care a lot about Star Trek and have seen a lot of it. But once you do, if you get there, it is just a smorgasbord of beautiful, delicious lore tidbits forever and ever.
Even if you can't, like, if you don't like Enterprise, which is fair enough, I'm an Enterprise defender, but I understand it. I do implore you go and watch at least, like, there's a Vulcan arc in there that's fantastic. You should.
I would absolutely not have watched Enterprise if I was watching it week to week. As a show that has been canceled for over a decade, I am happy to watch Enterprise. It's a window into a very bad time where Rick Berman ran Star Trek, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, it's bad in a lot of ways, but I also like it, and Season 4 gets out from under a lot of that stuff. The final episode is just as bad as you've heard.
Yeah. Might even be worse.
But no, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that on the main episode, but today we want to talk about Discovery.
Yeah, I guess so. I was going to say I've been watching both all TOS, DS9, and Voyager kind of all at once.
That's true. You're just watching Star Trek.
Well, yeah. So what happens is my partner and I watch Star Trek, and I always turn to her and be like, what are you in the mood for?" And if she wants like the important stuff, we'll watch DS9. If she wants a good time, we'll watch Voyager. And if she wants to just kind of like knit or like check her phone or play Animal Crossing, we'll watch TOS because it's the perfect thing to do that too.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of hopping through all of them. We're still kind of early season 4 of DS9. We're season 1 Voyager and Enterprise. Who I basically just load up a one that sounds interesting whenever she says TOS. Because order in that show does not matter at all.
No, absolutely not.
Yep. I've heard that in season 3 they reference that things that might have happened in previous episodes, but only in like vaguest context senses.
Yes, that was like heavy continuity for the 60s.
Yeah. I mean, especially for a show built like an anthology show. I mean, like I assume that like All in the Family or whatever was totally fine just referencing stuff. I watched a lot of I Love Lucy. That show has a lot of continuity.
But no, Star Trek was like just, hey, we put it on every week. It's a new show. But then season 3 was the one that only exists because so many fans complained.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on with Star Trek.
Yes.
Except Discovery's back for 6 more episodes. The 6 fleeting episodes of beauty that will drift in and out of our lives. One of them aired last night. This podcast might not go till tomorrow. I don't know. Jackson's doing it, but...
What you have to remember is that these 6 episodes, this back half of Discovery, is how long every TV series is in the UK.
I don't watch television, so that sounds very depressing. I don't know. Like, by all accounts, your country does not have the budget to produce more than 6 episodes of a television series.
Nope, but 6 episodes is like, if it's an actual TV show and not like an ongoing soap or something, 6 episodes is what you get.
God.
Yeah.
Great. Well, and the entire series costs less than a single episode of Discovery.
That's true of American series as well.
That's true. Yes. No, this is a very expensive television show. Anyway, last night aired Despite Yourself, Discovery Episode 10. Yesterday being 7th of January, 2018. It's 2018, everybody. It was written by Sean Cochran. It was directed by Jonathan Frakes himself. Take Frakes back in the director's chair.
They don't call him that.
Yes, apparently they do.
Wait, they do?
Yes.
So that wasn't you making a joke. That was a real thing that you're referencing.
Yes, that is from like TNG trivia, DS9 trivia, something like that. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Bless you. Perfect.
Yeah, no, ask yourself, why does Jonathan Frakes continue to direct television all over? It's because he works very fast and well.
I mean, yeah, he's clearly a good director, especially for TV, because you got to be on it.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first episode he has directed of Star Trek since Prototype, a Voyager episode from 96. So
I assumed he was still I guess he was like, after that he was just directing films. Like he directed those 2 Star Trek films and then like the Thunderbirds movie or something fucking terrible.
Yeah, Thunderbird movie. I've never heard anything about the Thunderbirds movie. Maybe it's fine. Who knows?
I mean, I've seen it. It's bad.
Jackson.
Yes.
What is happening in Discovery?
Okay, so, huge previously on, we're going to assume you're caught up, but the basic gist is Klingon War, lots of stuff happened, and the Discovery, after doing 144 jumps, 2 major things 130 jumps, 2 major things happened. 1, Stamets is now, like, completely knocked out with, like, white eyes, having seen the truth of the spores, or something. We don't quite know. And the Discovery on its final jump has landed in a place unknown, and they don't know where they are or what's happening. We begin, and the very first thing that happens is
I do want to mention it's still unclear whether or not he is Gary Mitchell or not.
Yes, no, that is not resolved as of yet.
No.
But the very first thing that happens in this episode is they're like, oh, where are we? We seem to be in the correct part of space, but everything's wrong, and all the quantum signatures are off, which, is that new? Have they used that before to identify?
No, they use that. That's from Mirror itself, and they talk about it in DS9 also.
Yes. Right, good. I was going to say, like, I vaguely recognize that, but I can't tell if that's just a shortcut to recognizing where they were.
No, they know that, like, that's how you tell someone is from the Mirror, or I guess other universes. Like, in theory, there would be some sort of quantum drift in the Kelvinverse at some point, right? Like,
yes.
But this is the only universe that actually crosses over, so it's the only time it ever comes up.
They're like, oh, we're in another universe. And then you get like 10 more minutes of them not knowing what universe it is.
Well, what happens is they immediately get fired on by a Vulcan ship, and they're like, what is going on? And then they fire on it, and it blows up. Or does it leave?
It like retreats, and then eventually is destroyed when the ship, what's the name of the ship that comes...
Cooper?
The Cooper.
Connor?
Yes. Cooper. No, it's the Cooper.
Okay.
But no, there is a
Sorry,
Vulcan
Memory
ship.
Alpha is not filled out yet, so we're kind of going off the top of our heads.
This aired less than 24 hours ago.
Yes.
So they're in this other universe. They don't know what to do. They see a wreckage of a Klingon ship, and they go, okay, let's work out what happens. Why is there a wreckage of a Klingon ship? Why is there no starbase? What's happening? Ash Tyler goes in this pod in order to recover the databanks from this Klingon ship to understand what's different about this universe. While he is doing this, he is having like extreme PTSD flashbacks and like memory lapses, and he's Vok, okay? So that is just a thing that we knew and is now becoming more and more clear. He is not able to handle this.
He goes talk to L'Rell. That's before he does this, right? Yes.
No, that's after, when he comes back.
Are you sure?
Because yes.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah, so he does that, and he has to recover the data core, and it's actually a really good scene that's very tense of him like having a complete meltdown as he's trying to extract the data core.
Also, like, Burnham is covering for him on the bridge, basically, knowing that this is happening. And Lorca knows that she's covering for him and is not happy about any of this.
Oh, Lorca's so good in this episode.
Yes.
So they get the data core. The data core reveals they are in the mirror universe, and they figure out, oh shit, it's here's what's going on.
They get the entire history of the Mirror Universe, like all the specifications about ISS ships and the like blade and Earth insignia and all of the personnel files. It's a lot. It is the most convenient lore dump they have ever been given.
It is they basically find the Wikipedia to this world.
Yes.
And there's the fantastic like zoom out shot on the Discovery like slightly tweaked version of the Planet and Sword.
Yes.
It's so good.
Because, like, it's so that, but it's, like, there's, like, a weird, like, almost, like, impact burst, or, like, almost like an inverted Starfleet Delta coming off at an angle from where the sword plunges into the Earth. It's really good.
It's very cool design. While this is happening, instead of going to talk to anyone about his, breaks, Ash Tyler decides to go to see L'Rell.
Yep.
And goes, hey, what's going on, L'Rell? What the fuck did you do to me? Because I like had trauma about this stuff, but this isn't adding up. Something is wrong. And she like sweet talks him into unlocking the force field, and basically activates his code word, and he starts speaking Klingon and comes back as Vok just for a moment, and then suddenly it cuts to black and he's Ash Tyler again.
Well, no, what happens is she gives him the code word and he responds, and then she does the like last little bit, and what he chokes her and asks her what she's doing because he doesn't quite realize what's going on, and she's like, it didn't work. She freaks out, and then there's a cut where he's like across the room with his phaser out, and he's like, what happened? And she doesn't really answer him, and so it didn't work to bring Vok out completely, but clearly Vok is emerging in like moments where Ash Tyler goes into like a weird fugue state.
Yeah. So those two personalities are like there and warring. It seems like a bad time to be Ash Tyler and also to be around Ash Tyler.
Yes.
So that's going on. Meanwhile, Stamets is in the medical bay, and Lorca comes in and takes Culber off the case, says they need an impartial doctor and not someone who is emotionally invested in like the safety of Stamets above regulations. Culber is understandably very upset with this, considering all the shit that Lorca's already asked him to do that does not go for regulations.
Yeah, but also Lorca's not wrong.
Lorca's not wrong, and Lorca basically goes, yeah, no, you're right to be upset with me. Like, yeah, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, I was also too passionate. We both need to admit that we fucked up here and do the right thing for once.
Yeah, no, this episode has a lot of Lorca being very reasonable and understanding towards his crew, because he actually is like a fairly, like, he's like a ridiculous captain who will get the job done, but he cares about his crew. He's not uncompassionate, and the fact that he isn't uncompassionate is like almost more scary in these moments, because it would be so much easier just to have him be evil and be like, "Fuck you, Culber, I'm overruling
I am
you."
very much invested in Lorca remaining captain of Discovery into the future of the show.
It's a really good dynamic of this often like tough shithead who makes wrong decisions and exploits his crew, but still actually cares about them and is just trying to get the best done. Like, that's so much harder to deal with than just someone who's evil or good.
Yep.
It has led to some incredibly good scenes like this one with Culber.
So meanwhile, the Cooper comes back and is like, Discovery, what are you still doing in all this wreckage? And they're like, shit, we need to respond. But Gabriel Lorca is probably not the captain here. They run through the files. And who is the captain of the Mirror Universe Discovery but one Sylvia Tilly?
It's Tilly. I think we called this.
Captain Tilly exists. You called it. I said no. He's clearly not just peering into the universe. He's probably peering through time and space. And I think that's on you getting that right.
Okay. Well, Captain Tilly is here, and is not just Captain Tilly, but is like. So the captain uniform in Discovery's era of the Mirror Universe is like the Discovery uniform with ornate. It's like
a gold. Yeah, it's like a gold. It's not just like epaulettes. It's like a whole like chest and like collarbone piece that like turns into an ornate collar, and like the swords are gold at the hilt that everyone wears, and there's a lot more like gold like boots and stuff. And what basically it is Tilly is like Mirror Universe Tilly is straight out of the Hunger Games version of Discovery, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so she's got like that uniform on and very long straightened blonde hair, which
with like the most dramatic weird like angled cut that's like straight out of like Pokemon.
Yes, it is. There's a fantastic line where she sees herself and like goes, "Well, my mum would love it."
Yes,
because her mum, like, there was a line earlier in the season about her mum hating her beautiful hair. Which who could do this? Who could ever have that in them?
Nope.
She's like got a bunch of nicknames as well, like Slayer of whoever it was, and then obviously ending with Captain Killy.
Which even Saru sardonically replies, "That's a little on the nose."
That's not very imaginative.
So she responds by audio, and they're like, "Okay, we got the Cooper to go away. And what we need to do actually is if we're going to figure out how to get out of this." Jackson, actually explain the plan to how to get out of the Mirror Universe now.
So what they do is they scan the database for any possible way to get back to the Prime Universe, and they find something amazing. They find that there is actually something with a quantum signature that matches their own in this universe that has already been found, and it is the USS Defiant that has been there for about 100 years. I don't know, 100 years?
Around there.
Yeah, because this is in the 2250s and the Enterprise of 2150s. So, because in the Enterprise episode, in A Mirror Darkly, I think it's that?
Yes.
Yes, in A Mirror Darkly, the Defiant, which is involved in the Tholian web and gets transported into the Mirror Universe.
So, okay, let's just say this. So,
down. In
the episode, the Tholian web, which is a original series episode, I don't know what season. You have
3.
To look it up. Okay. The Enterprise investigates a missing ship, the USS Defiant, which is another Constitution class, just like the Enterprise. This is not the DS9 Defiant, everyone on Twitter. And they find out that it has been like captured by Tholians, which are the weird lava spiders that you rarely ever see in Star Trek. They're in that episode and they're in the Enterprise episode, and that's it. Like devise this weird web of energy that like in that episode, I think that it vaporizes ships, but what apparently it actually does is shunts them into the Mirror Universe 100 years in the past.
Yes.
Because in A Mirror Darkly, the crew of the evil NX Enterprise, I don't think it's called ISS, right?
I think it is called the ISS Enterprise. No, it is.
Okay.
Like, there is a trivia point about how they never were able to work the line ISS Enterprise into the script, but the visual effects do have it say ISS.
Okay. So the evil Enterprise from Enterprise, just for clarification's sake,
yes,
discovers this ship being captured by the Tholians in its era in the 2150s, and they like take it over and use it because it's future technology to like destabilize the Empire, and like there's a lot of backstabbing and people taking charge. We're not going to spoil the actual events of the episode because they're wild. But that ship's been around for 100 years now. And is like apparently probably a foundational bedrock of the Empire's like fascist grasp on the galaxy, right?
It would have to be.
Yeah.
The fact that ship is from 100 years in the future and thus has better weapons than anything that is actually in this universe at that point is a key part of that episode. So we'll see.
Yep. It can go at like higher warps. It has shields. It has all sorts of things that didn't exist in Enterprise time.
Hull plating.
And so what they're going to do is they're going to go find they're going to find the information, which it's implied that the Emperor has it, probably, right?
So their plan is they need to find more information. What they do is they know we need to access the data, like the actual database, not just the Wikipedia stuff. We need to find the like Imperial database, the good shit. So what they do is they come up with a plan and they find out that the Shenzhou was captained by Michael Burnham. But Michael Burnham has disappeared for some nefarious reason that can't possibly...
No, Michael Burnham is presumed killed by Mir Gabriel Lorca, who then disappeared.
Yes,
who was the captain of the Mir Baron.
Yes. And like there was so much happened in this episode. There was a plot where Mir Lorca was attempting to do a coup on the Emperor, and that's all the details were given, possibly to be delved into further as it is revealed that this Lorca is actually Mir Lorca. Who knows? Maybe we'll see. Anyway, she is presumed dead, killed by Lorca, and Lorca is like off in nowhere. So they're like, we're both here, and they don't know where the mirror versions of us are. We're gonna impersonate us. Which means we get one of the best sequences in Star Trek.
So as Lorca's giving the speech, right?
Lorca's giving
or is
the
it
speech.
Burnham?
Lorca's
is it Burnham
giving
or Lorca?
The speech, and it's cutting between a bunch of different like other things happening. It's a fantastic montage.
So it's everyone like turning in their comm badge, their Starfleet deltas for this Terran Empire symbol. It's everyone getting outfitted with like swords and gold armor. It's the U on USS Discovery being shaved off and an eye painted in its stead. Yeah. It is just like an array, like all of the computer screens have been changed to have the Terran Empire designations on them. It is amazing.
Yeah, all the other Mirror Universe stuff is usually about, look at these crazy versions of the characters. And instead of that, here we have, oh shit, we don't know what this place is, but we have to pretend to be like from here. And so they just undergo this transformation. It's incredible.
And part of this is Burnham explaining to Tilly that she needs to step up and be the captain.
Yeah.
And Lorca's like, you can do this. And so Tilly has to embrace her evil self. And there's a lot of really good lines in this about Michael Burnham talking about this place, because she's done all this research from this lore dump they got. It's like, no, this place is fascistic, it's racist, it's xenophobic. These people are evil, but their evil doesn't stem from like, we are like super Nazis, we're taking over the galaxy. Its evil stems from, we fear everything that is not us, and we are fragile children who will stab anyone who gets in our way. And because of that, the power of Starfleet's gung-ho, everyone together, happy family attitude will undoubtedly save the day. Captain Tilly will be fortified by the faith of her crew.
Yeah, no, there's a fantastic line where I think I forget what the actual thing is, but it is like
no, she says fortify yourself with the faith of your crew. Like literally as she's putting on as Tilly's putting on the last of her armor. And then she's like, Tilly's like, let's go get those assholes. And then she turns to Lorca, she's like, is that too much? She's like, not here, it isn't.
I really like Tilly's like the way this causes her to doubt herself, because she wants to be a captain. She's like, that's what I'm going to be. But then she sees herself as this and thinks, wait, do I have to become this to be powerful? Is that what this means? And Burnham's like, no, you can still be Tilly. You're way better than her. It's really good. Tilly's so sweet.
Meanwhile,
God, we're not even halfway through.
We are. Anyway, meanwhile, Ash Tyler, upset by everything, wanting to, because he's supposed to be Michael Burnham's personal bodyguard as they go onto the Shenzhou.
Yes.
He goes to sickbay to make sure that he's all right or whatever, and he talks to Dr. Culber. He's like, please give me like the best scan you can. Like, I know you scanned me before, but do deeper. Like, make sure I'm actually okay. And he does, and he gets the results back, and he's like, what do you remember? Well, like, what's the things he's like, oh, I remember some surgery. Like, I thought it was part of my torture. He's like, no, you don't understand. Like, all of your organs have been like shaved off. All of your bones have been broken and like shortened. Like, everything about you is weird and different. There's no, like, whatever they did to you, the you that went into this is different than the you that exists before me right now. And we need to figure out who you are before anything happens. And, Ash Tyler has this moment where he like has another flash and is sweaty, and then he reaches forward, grabs Dr. Culber by the neck and breaks his neck, killing him.
Yeah. So that's bad. That's a real... that happened. I did scream no. It was a bad time. I Obi-Wan.
Yes. Destiny was like, I'm so mad when this happened because first gay couple in Star Trek and one of them is dead.
Yes. So there's been... I guess we can do it
yes,
now.
we'll just go ahead and talk about this.
Yes.
So I went to look because I was like, what's his face? Jason Harberts, is that his name?
I think so, maybe? Maybe not.
Why can't I remember his name? I'm looking it up.
Wilson Cruz.
No, the showrunner.
Oh, the showrunner. Oh, that might be Jason Harberts. Sorry if there's some noise. I am clicking on things to find out. It is 100%. Aaron Harberts.
Aaron Harberts is an out gay man writing this. He's like the showrunner. He's the one who took over for Brian Fuller. Him and Gretchen Allberg are the ones who took over
Gretchen
for J. Berg. I always do this, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the two showrunners, and I think they've said there are multiple gay writers on staff.
Yes. And so they gave interviews to a couple places, one of them being BuzzFeed, which we can link in the episode notes, where before this episode they did this interview because people had screeners and stuff, and they straight up said, which is ridiculous for a show like this, so predicated on ridiculous twists, don't worry, Dr. Culber's not dead. Wilson Cruz is like, no, we have a plan. There's going to be a good story here. Don't worry about it. My character continues to appear and stuff will happen. And this is not the last time you see him. Their story is not ended. This is not just this guy was killed, the end.
So, basically they came out and spoiled their whole deal because a little bit of thought you can figure out where this is going. The power of mushroom love is going to bring him back and it's going to be so good. But the idea that they would come out and say that preemptively to put out a discourse fire when this is the same crew that invented an actor for 2 months, even though everyone knew he didn't exist, is wild.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
It's a whole thing. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I am willing to trust them. I know there's been just a lot of everyone. I understand why people are head up about this.
Yes.
But I think with the things that they've said and also knowing that there are multiple gay writers on staff and knowing the context of how fucking terrible
also,
Rick Berman was about this.
Yes. Also, Wilson Cruz is a GLAAD spokesperson, and him and what's the guy's name? Yes, Anthony Rapp were they're two of the original leads of Rent. These are gay actors that have been outwardly out as gay people for decades. They know. They fucking know. Yes. Everyone needs to chill out.
It's gonna be okay. I think I think I can figure out where this plot is going. Who knows? But
they've basically said, if you read the real Dr. Stamets' book about mycelium and what it could mean for the building blocks of life and death, you'll probably guess as to where this plot's going.
Yeah, no. I can't...
Which I assume means that Stamets' powerful mushroom magic will bring him back and they'll be in love again. Or they will both ascend to the mycelium plane. One of those. Well,
no, my assumption is that... But my guess is what happens is they bring him back through the power of love and everything, but the actual series ends with Stamets, quote-unquote, dying as he ascends to be one with the mushrooms, like the end of Ghost in the Shell, but
the series or the season?
Season.
Okay.
That is my broad guess right now. Obviously, this could change. Every single guess we made in episode 3 was made irrelevant by episode 4. This series moves so fucking fast. But that is a broad guess for me right now. If that does happen, I can't wait for the double discourse when Stamets dies.
Yep.
Because that'll. But no, it's clearly not doing something purposeful. It is going to be a big, epic, ridiculous mushroom love story. It'll be okay. I trust them.
Yep. Anyway, they contact the Shenzhou. Everyone in their places now. Saru standing off to the back because he can't actually do anything because he's an alien, right? Yep. So all the aliens are just shunted off the bridge, which means you get the humans, all who have. I love the fact that this is they're oh no, mirror universe, super racist, whatever. But also this Discovery crew now is just populated by a bunch of brown people, and the uniforms all look good. It doesn't shy away from the fact that this universe is fascistic and shitty and bad, and everyone's a frightened child who will stab everyone who's not them. But also because it's fascism, the uniforms are pretty good.
Yeah. There's fantastic shots of Michael in this episode.
Yeah, it's her in the middle of the like captaining, or once she gets on the ship. We'll talk about it anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yes.
So they contact the Shenzhou, and the captain of the Shenzhou is Danby Connor, who is that guy who ran into the brig in episode 2 of this show and got vented out into space. And it was like, oh, that guy, because I think I mentioned that guy was doing junkets. Yes, and I was like, that's weird considering he died. Well, guess what? He's back. He's the captain of the ship.
Yeah, and so like it's actually really interesting because Burnham is basically face to face with this like reminder of the death that she's caused in that first episode. Because even though like it isn't actually her fault and the Klingons would have fucking started a shit with anyone, and she was trying to help, she still feels responsible for how things went down at the Battle of the Binary Stars, obviously. And so having to like not only see this guy's face, but also know that he's a sniveling idiot who she has to defend himself against.
Yes.
Defend herself against. Sorry, I'm getting all. It's good. The way they're able to like keep the mirror universe as the ridiculous fascist cartoon it's always been, but like bring nuance into how they portray it and how the characters interact with it has been really, really good so far, and I can only assume it'll continue.
Yep.
They go on to the Shenzhou and there's just an excellent shot that needs to be called out of them transporting where the shot doesn't change, and it's like it's one camera shot.
So the camera is placed like in the back of the transporter room with the Discovery, and as everyone gets on the pads, like it's Lorca, it's Ash Tyler, who shows up and is like, "Sorry, I'm late. Don't worry about it. Nothing happened." And you get the sense that he doesn't remember anything. I think me and Jackson talked about this last night. I'm pretty sure that he does not remember anything that he does as Vok right now, because that's the more dangerous thing to do for your like actual, like he's turned into the actual villain of the show, which we all predicted. Yes. And Jackson thinks that it will be more of the character stuff, right? Or he does.
I assumed throughout this episode that he knew until about this point. And I came to you and talked about, like, it's clear they are doing, like, Vok is the shadow personality that, like, emerges in moments of inopportune circumstance and causes some bad shit to go down. I was hoping it would go the other way and, like, Ash Tyler could remain the dominant personality, or they would find a way to, like, merge his experiences as Vok with
that might still happen once Ash Tyler becomes aware Vok exists, right?
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that they, like, at some point he has to, like, reconcile his, like, beliefs as this Klingon who, like, hates the Federation with his, like, experiences with the people in the Federation ship that he actually loves now.
Yes.
Like, they have to go there at some point. That's the obvious thing to do. But right now he's just a very dangerous, like, shadow death machine at any point.
Anyway, so they all get on the pads. It's Lorca, it's Burnham, it's Ash Tyler, and then they activate the transporter, and it beams them over in like a single uninterrupted shot over to the Shenzhou. And the thing that happens is the transporter effect happens, but what changes around them is it just like cuts like immediately over to the Shenzhou transporter room with the same camera shot, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's like instead of them fading out, and then it just cuts and then they fade in somewhere else. It's like the background fades out as one and the camera stays in the same place.
Yes.
It's like a second person point of view shot. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. And it's just a really nice way to show the transporters. We get the Shenzhou sets back, the beautiful, like, old-timey transporter giant rooms, everything lit differently, the beautiful underslung bridge. It's all here. And then they take Lorca to the agony booths.
Oh, the old agony booths.
Only the best agony booth for Lorca.
And Burnham's like the whole time basically trying to find a way to keep her cover and like, I'm not letting any of you touch him because you're just going to murder him and get like try to get your own glory because I know all of you all suck.
Not wrong.
But like she realizes she's going to have to put him in the agony booth. There's no way to like keep him personally and not have that be suspicious. And Lorcan understands this, but then they just throw him in the agony booth and walk away.
Yep.
And that's just where he is for the rest of the episode.
Oh, we missed the scene right before they contact the Shenzhou as they're about to lead Lorca onto the bridge. Lorca, to make it look good, smashes his face into the wall like 6 times.
Like they're about to go, and he just like bam, 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 and his face is covered in blood. It's Lorca's a hardcore dude.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so they leave him in the agony booth room, and then they're going up to the bridge, and Captain Connor of the Shenzhou is like, it's so hard being captain. I never realized, like, I had to stab someone in the back. I remember when I won the knife fight that got me this post, and everyone bowed to me. And the thing I realized is they never bowed as deeply as they did to you. But now I know how to make them bow that deep. And then he pulls a knife and goes to fight her, and they have a fight in the turbo lift, and it's amazing.
It's a really well-directed fist fight.
Yep. Well, it's like there's a knife involved, and then like it turns into them like him choking her on the ground, and she kicks open a panel and breaks the
grav plating?
Does she break the gravity, or does she like redirect the turbo lift dramatically or something?
I took that as her like changing the grav plating, and maybe the turbo lift was still moving.
Yeah. But anyway, they both float up into the air to shake him off, and it's really good, and she ends up just, like, stabbing him and, like, pushing him back against the wall. She looks into his face as he dies, and it's fucking hardcore and amazing.
Yeah, no, because then she, like, as she knows that she has won, she completely breaks.
Yes.
And, like, just becomes Burnham, just watching this man die. And he's, like, looking at her confused as to why this, like, figure who he both respects and is terrified of, like, suddenly has empathy for him and dies confused. It's a lot.
So cut to the Shenzhou Bridge as the turbolift door opens, and she pushes out his dead body and walks out, and everyone on the bridge turns and stands up and slow claps as she walks out to take back her command.
It fucking gets Big Bossed into her own ship. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good scene.
And the scene's great because like it has like there's a point of view shot of everyone clapping. There's a lot of weird like moments of this bridge where everything is awkwardly face on in a way that feels like artificial, and her like viewing everyone starting clapping her is definitely one of those moments of it just feels unreal and uncanny as they're all like clapping. Well done. Well done for murdering this man who was our captain. Welcome back.
And so she takes command. There's an amazing shot of it like pulling into the bridge of the Shenzhou, just like the opening of the actual show. And instead of it being Georgiou there, it is Burnham, Mirror Universe, all of her armor, just like draped across the chair, looking menacing and powerful and good.
And saying like, "Long live the Empire."
Yes, everyone in unison shouts, "Long live the Empire."
There's in the transporter scene, they do the salute at her, and so everyone like realizes they have to do the salute at once because they hadn't seen the salute before. Like, that has to have been in their logs, but it's still a good moment.
Yes. Well, I like that she does it immediately, and Ash Tyler, like, lags behind, not knowing what's going on.
He's doing a bit of a shitty salute.
Yes. Bad space Nazi, Ash Tyler.
That's basically where it ends. Like, there's another scene of...
So, no, what happens is, like, there's the scene where she goes into her quarters, into, like, the captain's ready room, whatever, and... Ash Tyler's there. He's like, no, the command codes are the same. I'm a security chief. I know how to navigate a ship. It's weirdly the same in this universe too. And then she just starts taking off all of her like armor and stuff. And she's like, this sucks. Everything's terrible. I can't believe the things I've had to do. And he's like, don't worry about it. Whatever this universe makes us do, whatever we need to accomplish to get the mission done, we'll still have each other. We will get through this, and we will still be Starfleet officers at the end of this. And she's like, this is a good speech, and climbs on top of him, and the two start making out as the episode basically ends.
The episode ends, and then it cuts to Lorca in the agony booth.
Yes.
Just going, ah!
Yep.
And then it cuts to credits. I like that final scene for like two reasons. One, her taking off all the like armor is incredible because there's so much of it.
Yeah,
there's so much of it, and it's like she has to take it off piece by piece, and it, like the whole conversation, she is still removing different bits of armor. It's like it's a really nice touch to like show just what it takes to pretend to be one of these assholes.
Yep.
Also, I like that they are having the like fucking in the context of Mirror Universe. He is like the captain's man.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, because when she walked into her room, I was like, wait, is there going to be someone waiting for her? Are they doing this bit?
Yep.
Because that's what happened to Kirk, right? He walked in and she was just there.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yep.
But no, it's back. I can't believe this is the episode we came back to.
I like had to stop and pause it and be excited like twice during the course of the episode. It was too much.
We talked about how crazy this episode was for like half an hour, and we didn't even mention that Lorca pretends to be Scotty.
Oh, right. He totally does when they're like, let us talk to the engineer. And he's like, things just need to be fixed in his like ridiculous Scottish accent, which is better a Scottish accent than Scotty has ever done.
Yeah. Jason Isaacs is like English, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard him. I've heard his actual voice. He's not actually Scottish.
Yes. But he's like one of those actors who does a different accent in every role because he likes learning, like doing dialogue work.
Okay.
And it's like for me, whenever I see him now, I'm just going to hear Lorca, and anything that's not Lorca is going to really mess me up.
Right. Because his Lorca accent's like really specific.
Yeah, it's like a really good American accent, but like a Southern accent that's kind of mostly gone away, but still shows up every once in a while. It's really nice touch. It's the kind of thing that you clearly have to be someone who does that work a lot to get right.
Yeah. And it's him just busting out into a Scottish accent like right then because someone's like, oh, we don't know, we just cover your voice in case they figure out it's you. He just pretends to be Scotty.
Yep.
While Tilly is like pretending to be captain for the first time, like what the hell? Hell is happening here?
Yep.
Oh, it's so silly. This show is incredible. I know I say this every time, but it is no other Star Trek is anywhere near this good this quick. And I know TV has just changed, but goddamn, they nailed it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I can't believe Discovery's back. It's on its bullshit in the most dramatic way right now.
They replaced the U with the I.
Yes, it's beautiful. What a dumb thing to have exist in this world. That they're just deep cover Federation citizens in this now basically Mirror Universe ship trying to get through.
We also didn't talk about the most important plot point.
Is this about the Emperor existing, but no one knows who it is?
No, this is about the actual most important plot point. Not the most important thing that happens, but the fact that they do remember to say early on in the episode, we didn't transport the Klingon cloak.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. The Federation needs those codes to break the Klingon cloaks.
Right, because yes, they were going to transmit those cloaks, the cloak breaking codes, and it was unclear in the episode whether they had like just remotely transmitted them.
It was gonna. They said the upload would take 12 hours, and then the jumps happened. So the question we were left last episode was whether or not they had made it or not. They had not made it.
They had not made it. Yeah, so they need to get back. So that's the tension that they're going with.
But they also mention that the Discovery being transferred means that the actual original ISS Discovery is in the Prime universe, just running roughshod at some point. So they're going to come back, and that thing is going to actually end the war just by being like ridiculous cartoon evil people.
God, what if... Man, that's good. Because they switch places is the answer, so there's not going to be so much, like... Because they've switched places, we're not going to have everyone running into the mirror versions of themselves. Yeah,
no, that I don't think we'll... Outside of who could possibly be the Emperor, we're not going to see that probably.
So the assumption going... stop listening to this bit of the episode if you don't want Enterprise spoilers. For that.
You know...
We have to talk about it. We have to talk about it.
We don't have to talk about the Enterprise thing.
Fine.
We can talk about it next episode if our guess as to who the Emperor is comes true. Because then we could talk about how it's probably problematic.
Yeah, because if you know what we're talking about and you know what we're talking around, like, yes. I mean, the guess was that everyone assuming that the Emperor is going to be Giorgio, which everyone is very excited for and thinks that's very cool. There are reasons why that's a bit weird if you watch Enterprise, but only like the dumbest of deep lore bullshit. So we'll see how that goes.
There's also a possibility that it's like mirror Gabriel Lorca, and Lorca is actually Prime Lorca, and the whole thing about him trying to kill the Emperor is like some weird front or something.
Yep, that's another. Yeah, there's no.
Or it could be an Enterprise character at 120 or whatever.
Yes, or it could be the same character from Enterprise.
It could be Jonathan Archer.
It could be a lot of things.
Yep.
I was Googling...
It's just like Porthos's brain in a robot body.
Are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me? But it wouldn't even be Porthos.
It would be Mirror Porthos.
It would be evil Porthos. God damn it. Oh, Star Trek's good. I was Googling today how long Andorians live. Do we know?
Okay, is there an answer?
I couldn't find it.
It would be really fucked up if an Andorian was ahead of the Terran Empire, Jackson.
No, I'm thinking about next week. I'm thinking about who might possibly be with Sarek.
I cannot imagine they would be as on their bullshit as to include Jeffrey Combs as Shran in the fucking Rebels of the Mirror Universe.
Yeah, but what if?
I mean, if I will love this show forever. Instantly my favorite Star Trek.
Yeah, it won't. That's too far. Like, they already brought up the Defiant. That's already crazy enough. But the possibilities for where they could go with this are not just like this show's always had like a huge possibility space for the crazy shit it can do, and it moves so fast. But now they're all like weird 6-level deep cuts to Enterprise just because of the place they've moved to.
Well, yeah. Also, like they've straight up said like we're interested in getting this show off the ground was important to us, but now that we've like established it and people like it for the most part, we're interested in making sure that this is a show that leads up into the original series, and you feel that in what we're doing. So we will probably get more and and more lore connections as we go forward.
Yeah, no, they have talked about how future seasons are going to like feel more optimistic and Star Trekky, and like basically saying, we see your complaints, but we know what we're doing. It'll form a smooth line. It will make sense when we're done. Don't worry about it.
One of the things they said before the show launched, and I feel like maybe they were talking about like Culber when they were talking about, they're like, there's going to be things we do that people are mad about. We ask you to give us a couple episodes to explain what's going on before you get mad about something, because we're telling a show. Bad things are going to happen to some characters.
Yep. Like, yeah. Someone was talking about this and was like, can you imagine what like DS9 would have been like if Discourse was around then? If DS9 aired after the invention of ideology? It would have been a different world.
Yep.
Like, Enterprise is just bad about that stuff, but DS9 like walks lines in the same way that Discovery does.
Yeah.
So it would have been much more of a disaster. It's way easier to just be shit and everyone can say you're shit about this.
Also, every Star Trek fan would have been so mad on Twitter all the time talking about DS9 every week.
In the pale moonlight ass.
I mean, just like, oh, this isn't on a starship. This isn't Star Trek. This is what I'm looking for. This is about religion and some aliens. Nobody cares. This isn't my Star Trek.
I mean, my dad was doing that when I was like 7 watching
yes,
DS9
no,
anyway.
people were doing that, but now they're on Twitter. The secret is Star Trek fans hate every Star Trek show.
It's true.
Until they don't.
We went and looked up some of the early reactions to TNG. And to be fair, season 1 TNG, bad show.
Yeah,
but
a lot of the things people said about it, eerily similar to the things they said about DS9, the things they said about Enterprise, the things they say about Discovery right now.
Yeah, it's weird. So it goes on forever.
Yep.
I guess is that everything? Is that I mean, like, we're excited for future stuff. I didn't watch the preview, but I did see the picture of Mira Sarek.
Yes, I showed Jackson a picture of Mira Sarek with a goatee because all evil Vulcans that are not Tuvok must have goatees, apparently.
Well, Tuvok's not evil.
That's true.
I guess
Spock wasn't evil,
I guess it's
right?
just Spock.
Yeah. Okay, all white male Vulcans in the Mirror Universe must have goatees.
Correct. We were talking a bit last night because we had one of the most on our bullshit Trek conversations of all time last night, and one of the things that came up was what this implies about Mirror Spock.
We'll probably save that for next episode.
Yes. So look, there's gonna be some more
because there's no reason to conjecture for 10 minutes when they might just talk about Spock next episode.
It's true. Yeah. No. Now they've established themselves. They can go in as deep on the lore as they want. I'm so ready. Yep. I'm so excited. Yeah. What a good episode. Discovery's so good. Star Trek has no right to be this fucking good.
Yep. So these episodes will continue. Like I said, everything else on Abnormal Mapping, kind of touch and go for the next 2 weeks. Yep. Thank you for your patience. As always, if you have questions, comments, podcast@abnormalmapping.com. We're not even going to do a plug zone. You know where to go. abnormalmapping.com, patreon.com/abnormalmapping. I'm on Twitter at em_being. Jackson on Twitter at headfallsoff. And we'll be back next week for episode 11. What's it called? Something about a wolf? The Wolf Inside? The Wolf Among Us?
Yeah, The Wolf
Season
Among Us,
2?
Season 3.
What's it called?
It's called The Wolf Inside. You were right the first time.
Okay. Oh, good. I thought that was wrong, so that's why I kept going.
All the episode names are incredibly dumb.
Yep. Yeah, no. Discovery's good. Bless them for coming back and being good. That's it. We're done. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
See you out there.